I am 25 years old, married for 4 years, with a 5-year-old son, trying to process what I discovered last night. It started 2 weeks ago when I first noticed something was off. My wife had been acting different, staying up late on her phone, being more protective of it than usual. I tried to ignore it, telling myself I was being paranoid. We've been together since college, built a life together, and have a beautiful son. Why would she risk all that? Last night, after she fell asleep watching TV, her phone kept buzzing with notifications. I know I shouldn't have looked, but something in my gut told me I had to. What I found made me wish I hadn't. She'd been messaging her new colleague from the bank where she recently started working. The messages from the past couple of days were filled with, "I miss you," and plans for him to come over tomorrow while I'm at work. The older messages were deleted, but what I saw was enough to know this wasn't just a friendly chat. Now I'm sitting here, picking at my breakfast burrito, my stomach in knots. According to their messages, he's supposed to come over at 1:30 p.m. I called in sick to work, told them I had food poisoning. My state's laws say that if I can prove she cheated, I won't have to pay alimony if we divorce. Part of me wants to go home right now and confront her, but another part knows I should wait and get proof. I left for work this morning like everything was normal. I even kissed her goodbye, though it felt like swallowing glass. I can track when our home security system is armed or disarmed through my phone app. If he shows up, I'll know. My friend Mike from the base keeps texting me, asking why I'm not at work. I haven't told anyone yet. What's there to tell? That my wife might be cheating on me? That my whole life might fall apart today? That I'm terrified about what this means for my son? It's almost noon now. The diner staff keeps giving me concerned looks as I order my 4th cup of coffee. My hands won't stop shaking. I keep checking my phone, both for the security app and to see if she's texted me. She sent a normal "have a good day" message earlier. How can she act so normal when she's planning to destroy our family? 1:45 p.m. now. He hasn't shown up. The security system hasn't been disarmed. Maybe she changed her mind. Maybe she suspected I knew something this morning. My acting skills aren't great. I probably looked as sick as I felt when I kissed her goodbye. I'm going to wait until 3 p.m. If nothing happens, I'll head to the base legal office tomorrow morning. I've heard they can recommend good divorce lawyers. I never thought I'd need to know that. The hardest part is that I still love her. We've been through so much together: college graduation, my military training, the birth of our son, 3 different moves across the country. How do you stop loving someone you've built your whole adult life with? Even if she's about to tear it all down? My son's at daycare right now, probably playing with his friends, completely unaware that his world might be about to change. That's what hurts the most. He didn't ask for any of this. 3:30 p.m., still nothing. I'm going home soon. I'll try to act normal through dinner, maybe even through the weekend. I'll see a lawyer first thing Monday morning. There's supposed to be a hunting trip next weekend with my base buddies. She mentioned in her text that she was looking forward to me being gone then. I think I'll still go, but not before making sure I have ways to know what's happening at home. I've decided I can't try to fix this. Even if nothing physical happened yet, she told him she loves him. How do you come back from that? She's been talking about wanting to go back to school, asking for a new car. Now it all feels different. Was she just trying to get what she could before leaving? Using me while planning her exit? The waitress just brought me another coffee without asking. I must look as bad as I feel. I should eat something, but the thought of food makes me feel sick. I keep checking my watch, my phone, the parking lot outside. I don't even know what his car looks like. I don't know anything about him except that he's trying to destroy my marriage. She should be picking up our son from daycare soon. I know exactly how long that drive takes. If she's late, I'll know she went somewhere else first. I've become someone who tracks their wife's movements. I hate this person I'm becoming, but I hate what she's making me do even more. Christmas is in 2 weeks, and our son's birthday is next Friday. I need to keep it together until then. For him, I'll smile, buy presents, take pictures, and pretend my world isn't falling apart. Maybe by then I'll have proof of what's happening. Maybe by then I'll know what to do next. I never thought I'd be that guy sitting alone in a diner all day, planning how to catch his wife cheating. But I also never thought my wife would be the type to cheat. Guess we're both full of surprises. I got home that evening and somehow made it through dinner. We had pizza, my son's favorite. My wife acted completely normal, asking about my workday while she helped him with his homework. I made up some story about a boring meeting. Every word felt like a lie, even the true ones. Later that night, while we were watching TV, she suddenly grabbed the remote and paused it. My heart stopped. She turned to me and said, "When were you going to tell me you saw the messages?" I asked what she meant, playing dumb even though my hands were sweating. She said she knew I had seen her texts. Turns out when she woke up that morning, She had a notification about screenshots being taken, but couldn't find them on her phone. That's when she knew. She told me he never came over, which I already knew, and that she had blocked his number. She said she told him she couldn't talk to him anymore. I just sat there, not knowing what to say. What do you say when your wife admits she was planning to cheat but didn't go through with it? She started crying, telling me she got involved with him because she felt lonely, that we'd lost our connection. Apparently, it started when their hands touched while passing files at work, and she felt electricity. I wanted to laugh at how cliché it sounded, but nothing about this was funny. According to her, she told him multiple times she wanted to end it, but he kept pursuing her, saying all the right things. Things I used to say to her when we first started dating. She swears nothing physical happened between them. The texts I saw support that. He was talking about how excited he was to finally be with her. But does it matter? She was going to do it. If I hadn't found those messages, my wife would have slept with another man in our home while our son was at daycare. I told her I couldn't decide anything right now. I needed time to think. I'm considering asking my friend Jake from the base if I can crash on his couch for a few days. I need space to clear my head. Of course, I'll come back for my son's birthday and Christmas. He shouldn't suffer because his parents' marriage is falling apart. She wants to work on our marriage. Says she'll do anything to fix this. But how do I trust her again? How do I know she won't do this again? Every time she picks up her phone, every time she's late coming home, every time she mentions work, will I always be wondering? Our marriage hasn't been perfect, I'll admit that. Our intimate life hasn't been great lately. We've both been busy, me with work, her with her new job. We stopped talking like we used to. But that doesn't excuse what she did. She could have talked to me instead of turning to him. She's not a horrible person. I need to make that clear. She's a good mother. She's kind. She's just lost. I think she misses who we used to be. The young couple who couldn't keep their hands off each other, who stayed up all night talking about nothing and everything. But we're not those people anymore. We have responsibilities, bills, a child. You can't live in that honeymoon phase forever. We agreed to try counseling. Found a therapist who could see us next week. In the meantime, I'm watching her like a hawk while pretending I'm not. I've put some safeguards in place, ways to know if she contacts him again. I haven't told her about these. Maybe that makes me as bad as her, but I can't trust blindly anymore. She's asked me several times if I can forgive her. I honestly don't know. I love her. 5 years of marriage and a child together don't just disappear overnight. But love isn't always enough. Sometimes love just means knowing when to let go. I've been thinking about asking her to sign a post-nuptial agreement. If she's really in this for us and not just for financial security, she should be willing to sign away her rights to alimony and assets if we divorce. I'll still support our son, of course, but I want to protect myself. The counseling session is tomorrow. I'm not sleeping much, barely eating. My friends at work have noticed something's wrong, but I'm not ready to talk about it. How do you tell people your wife almost cheated on you? That your marriage might be over? That you're sleeping next to someone you're not sure you can trust anymore? I catch myself watching her when she doesn't know it, looking for signs of the woman I married. Sometimes I see her, sometimes I don't. I wonder if she does the same thing, looks at me and tries to find the man she fell in love with. Maybe that's our problem. We're both looking for people who don't exist anymore. The counseling session went exactly as I feared it would. She talked about feeling disconnected, about how I didn't give her enough attention. But then something interesting happened. As the therapist asked her questions, she started contradicting herself. She'd say I never talked to her, then remember times I tried to start conversations. She'd say I didn't care, then list things I did to show I cared. The therapist helped her see that maybe the problem wasn't that I didn't care enough. It was that she wasn't happy and didn't know why. That session gave me hope. Maybe we could fix this. Then last night, I saw her assembling a bed in the spare room. New sheets, new pillows. I checked her phone. She's been texting him again. I'm at the bar now, nursing my third whiskey. It's finally over. No more hoping, no more trying. In a way, it's almost a relief. At least now I know for sure. She's planning to move back to her hometown, clear across the country. Away from him too, which surprised me. Maybe she realizes this thing with him isn't real. It's just the excitement of something new, the thrill of forbidden love. Like a teenager's crush, but with adult consequences. We've agreed to handle this through mediation instead of fighting it out with lawyers. Save money, save stress. She's agreed not to ask for alimony, and we're working on a custody arrangement that gives me primary custody but lets her see our son as much as possible. By state law, we have to live apart for a year before we can file for divorce. She'll stay in the house for now, seeing her therapist, trying to figure herself out. I think she needs that. She's got issues with self-worth that go way deeper than our marriage problems. Update. Now 4 years later, I'm sitting in the same bar where I first accepted my marriage was over, but everything else has changed. My ex-wife, let's call her Sarah, moved in with that guy from work. They're still together. She got pregnant twice, lost the first baby, had the second. They had some trouble with child services, and their kid was taken away for a while. That was rough to watch, even after everything. My son just turned 9. He's the brightest spot in my life. Sarah and I actually get along better now than we did in those last months of our marriage. We're not friends, but we can be civil. I've let go of my anger about the affair. What's the point in holding on to it? I just ended a 2-year relationship. It wasn't dramatic. We just wanted different things. For the first time since my divorce, I'm actually excited about being single. I'm dating casually, focusing on my career, being the best dad I can be. Looking back at that day in the diner, when I thought my world was ending, I wish I could tell myself it would get better. The pain doesn't go away completely, it just changes. Becomes more of a dull ache than a sharp stab. Then one day, you realize you haven't thought about it in weeks. Sarah wasn't a bad person. She was just lost, and instead of finding her way back to me, she looked for an escape. I've stopped trying to understand why. Sometimes there aren't any good answers. My son asked me recently if I still loved his mom. I told him I love who she was, and I love that she gave me him, but sometimes people change too much to stay together. He seemed to understand that. I've changed too. I'm stronger now, more confident. I know what I want and what I won't accept. The military taught me about resilience, but nothing teaches you about strength like having your heart broken and rebuilding it. My friends tell me I should write a book about all this, from heartbreak to happiness or something equally cheesy, but I don't think my story is special. People fall in and out of love every day. Marriages end. Life goes on. The bartender just brought me another drink. Same whiskey I was drinking 4 years ago, but it tastes different now. Everything does. Or maybe I'm the one who's different. To anyone going through what I went through, it gets better. Not today, not tomorrow, but it does get better. You just have to make it to the other side. Trust me, it's worth it. I'm going home now, to my apartment across town. My son will be coming over tomorrow for the weekend. We're planning to build a model rocket together. Life isn't perfect, but it's good. And sometimes that's enough. Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed this story, please hit that subscribe button. Don't forget to give it a thumbs up and share it with friends or family who might enjoy it too. Your support means a lot. And if you have any thoughts, questions, or story ideas, drop them in the comments below. I'd love to hear from you. See you in the next story.